Hello, my name is Trevor Wooten and thank you for tuning in to my video. Today I wanted to introduce you to a project that I've been working on called Pi-hole. It's basically a DNS server for your home. So it helps you block ads on your whole network, be it TVs, IoT devices, laptops, all those clients. It helps you block all those ads and it tells you around, hey, accept these but don't accept these. It just basically makes every device you use a better experience because you don't have so many queries coming to it. So I just want to give you a rundown of how it is, the problems I faced, and how I set it up. So enjoy. So as you can see right here, this is Pi-hole, the actual website to log into it. I'm using the Debian server on my Pi Zero. That's why it's called Pi-hole, because you're using a Raspberry Pi as a DNS server. And how I set it up was basically I use PuTTY, so I use this. I use PuTTY to SSH into the Pi and download everything that needed to download. So the IP address for the Pi is 192.168.1. 28. That is the static IP on the Pi currently, and that was actually one of the biggest problems I had starting this to begin with, and I'm going to get into that more later. So once I sent that into PuTTY, I press open. It's going to tell me to log in, so I'm going to log in with my credentials. Alrighty, so now we're inside the DNS server, which is the Pi that's sitting next to me right now. I'm gonna put a picture up so you can see. So once I SSH'd into the Pi Zero, I installed the Pi-hole with this command right here. It was basically curl, and there was this command. I pressed enter and went through the whole rundown, and I got everything up and running. So that was awesome. After that, they gave me a password. I logged in, and I'm going to show you how that looks right now. So I'm going to log into the dashboard. All right, so this is the dashboard. This is all the queries that has been going on the past couple days. I've had this up running for maybe about a week. All the queries that has been blocked, the percentage blocked, and all these domain lists. I'm going to go through an overview of these. I'm not going to show everything, but I'm going to give you the premise. So we're going to just start out with one of the clients. I'm going to show you the TV that's currently going downstairs and see what's going on with it and what's being blocked and what's being accepted. So this is the downstairs TV on my network. I'm at its current IP address, and these are the things that it's blocking and allowing. So it blocked these two right here, these DNS queries, and I can choose to allow them, or like the green ones, I can choose to deny them. So what's basically happening is that the client device, which is like my laptop or the TV or whatever the case may be, is asking the router for a DNS query. The router's like, oh, okay, well, let me ask the Pi. The Pi is going to tell them allow this, but don't allow that. The Pi sends that information back to the router, and then the router communicates back to the client, whatever you're using, be it, like I said, a TV, a phone, a tablet, or whatever. It's telling the client, okay, these are what we're allowing, these are what we aren't. And most of these queries can sometimes be ads. Now, YouTube and some other websites host their own ads. So the only way to block ads for them on your TV is if you just block the whole website, and that won't work at all. But a lot of different websites on your laptop will be clear of ads. You don't have to worry about it. It makes your computer run faster. Even the older TV that we have upstairs went a lot faster because it didn't have so many queries being sent to it. And now we can actually use it way better than what we was before. So Pi has really been helping me and my family out a lot. It does work better on Tubi, Paramount Plus, Disney at times, but that is because that the DNS servers that they use is separated from the actual company itself. They kind of use either Google, it's a lot of Google or YouTube or whatever the case may be. These are some of the lists I had included, because you can add your own block list. You can go online, maybe GitHub or whatever the case may be, and see what people have uploaded that help you out. So you can have a whole bunch of block lists. There's a couple that I have added right here, and you can choose to enable or disable them. Basically control the DNS server how you would like to control it, and that has been a great help to us. As you can see, it is blocking things live as I'm doing this now. We don't have a lot of devices going right now, but that's going to go into my next section of what kind of problems I ran into doing this and how I overcame them. So a big thing that I struggled with when I tried to do this project maybe a year or two ago, when I wasn't as well knowledgeable in networking, was that I couldn't get a static IP address on my network. The problem was we have a basic router from an ISP. It's the default settings, which means that it was very restricted in the settings that I can do. I couldn't change the DNS server. I couldn't make a static IP on any device. I couldn't do anything, and I was very frustrated. I'm like, man, like I want to do this, but I'm limited, and I don't really want to get a new router right now in this instant, but maybe in the future I will. So I put it up for a while. But then as I got more knowledgeable in my craft, I got my degree, I was like, oh, that's what DNS is. I get this now. So once I did that, I realized that I don't need to make a static IP on the router itself. I can do that from the operating system on the Pi. And how I did that was basically I puttied back into the machine and used sudo nmtui. And that basically helped me go into the network configuration of the Pi itself and set its own static IP within the Pi rather than having to go through the router in general. So that was very helpful. And that's how I was able to have a static IP on the network without it ever changing and having problems. That being said, since I couldn't modify the DNS server on a router itself, that means I had to use the Pi on individual clients. I couldn't say, okay, network, do this for everything that connects to my Wi-Fi. And I could do that if my router allowed me to change the DNS server. So what I have to do is go in manually on the actual client itself only one time and type in the IP address of the DNS server, and then it'll start using it moving forward. So if I have a TV or a laptop and I wanted to use Pi instead of the regular DNS that the ISP offers, I just have to change it manually in the networking settings, which isn't too bad because I only did this for my TVs. I didn't really do it for my laptops. I didn't do it for our phones. I just wanted my TVs to be ad free. So that wasn't a big deal to me. But when I am able to change the router settings, I can change the DNS settings, and everything on the network will be using a Pi, and that's going to be awesome. But for the time being, doing it manually isn't a big deal to me, and I know what I'm doing to fix it. So I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, well, that really sums up everything. I appreciate you all stopping by to this video and watching me do the rundown of this. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. And I thank you for staying this long to watch my video and my breakdown of how I did it. I hope you all are having a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.